Guys, I'm bored. You must be bored. Otherwise, I don't know why you'd be watching. Like, you must be really bored having to watch this. But GQ just released a ranked list of the top 100 games of all time, and these are ranked by experts. So that's how you know it's going to be real and true. Like, it's time to get serious now, guys. This is a bit different to what I usually do on the channel. Obviously, I react to what's this doing here? React to TV shows, films, all that good stuff. I don't really do gaming content here, like, at all, but shout out to my other channel where I do gaming content. We're doing platinum videos over on there as well. So I don't really talk about it in the reactions or anything like that, but I game pretty much every single day. I mean, you might have caught the odd video here and there where I mention it, but yeah, I don't know if that's, like, known as a thing on this channel. So I thought we'd do something different. I was going to read through the list anyway. I did go through, like, the first 5 or 6, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to do this as a video because I was just sat here about to look through the list and I was like, let's just do it. Let's see if we agree with the list. If we agree with some of the placements, probably not. Like, my prediction for the number 1 game is going to be, I think it's going to be a Nintendo game. It's probably going to be Breath of the Wild because this was released 3 days ago. So I don't know if Tears of the Kingdom would that be in there? I don't know if that would be in there, but that would be high up. Or it's gonna be like a Mario game. That would probably be number 1. The Last of Us, maybe. I don't see that being number 1. It would definitely be in the top 10, surely. I don't know. I don't know what the game. Like, there's a lot of games, obviously, but in terms of, like, the best game of all time, Tetris. Like, Tetris is gotta be up there, I'd say. So yeah, let's have a look. We'll start with number 100. There's going to be obviously a lot of these games I just haven't played. There's so many blind spots for me here and there, but I've heard probably a lot about a lot of these games, like Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. I remember hearing about this game way back, even when it was released in 2004. It wasn't, correct me if I'm wrong though, I was primarily on PlayStation around this time, and I still am, and this felt like, I think it was like a PC-centric game, so I never got around to this, but I've heard amazing things, and they are doing a remake as well. Well, apparently, I don't really know what's happening with that game. So, right, so Knights of the Old Republic at 100. Yeah, sure, we'll go with that. Res at 2001. That would be pretty far down if it was at 2001. Res, again, heard about, not played this one. It looks a bit wacky, to be fair. Maybe one day. Maybe one day. Age of Empires 2. Now, I haven't played this specific one, but I've played some of the Age of Empires, and I love these types of games back in the day, like Command and Conquer, Red Alert. I had a load of fun on these on, like, my dad's PC back in the day, like, just scuttling hunched over, as you do as a PC gamer, of course. Yeah, I remember always having fun on these type of games. Maybe I did play this one, but I think I played, like, Age of Empires 3, I want to say. I definitely played one of them. I don't think it was this one. I think this is a bit before I got, like, into a bit of the PC game in, like, 1999. 97, The Return of the Obra Dinn. This is one of my... Like, 97, I'm glad it's on the list. I would put this way higher up on that list, personally. Like, for me, The Return of the Obra Dinn is top 25 games of all time, I'd say. The music is so good. The design of this game is like a puzzle game. You start off on this boat, everyone, like, all of the crew have been murdered or something's happened to them, and you've got to figure out what happened to them. It's like you're a detective that's come on board to solve the mystery, and it's just so good. I'd say in terms of puzzle games, it is the best. The best puzzle game that I've ever played. If you would count it as a puzzle, I mean, it kind of, yeah, I'd say it kind of is. I love this game. I'd have it in the top 25, but I'm not upset that it's at least made it to the list. Very low down, but it's fine. Yeah, Super Mario Bros. At 96. I'm sure there's going to be plenty of Mario games on this list, of course. Again, Nintendo, not really my wheelhouse, but you got to respect the Mario games and what they've done for gaming. So, yep, 96. I'm sure that I'm going to go if they have 4 Mario games on this list, at least. Ultimate Underworld. I've not actually heard of this game. Your buckler was damaged. It looks like some pre-Skyrim kind of game. Yeah, I've not actually heard of this game, so I have no opinion on that one. Okami, amazing game. I remember playing this on the PS2, rank 94. I'm surprised we haven't got, like, some form of a remake or bringing this out of the PS2. I'm sure you can play it on PS4 because it's probably on the PS3 store back in the day. So I think you can still play it, like, pretty pretty accessible. But yeah, to get a remake of this game would be incredible. Like, the idea of this game, like having the paintbrush, I remember back in the day playing it with the paintbrush and like painting all the pathways for you and stuff was so cool. So I never completed it though. I never got around to completing this game. I remember back in the day you do this with a lot of games, but you just run around for so long and just explore like the first area so much. And I felt like Okami was one of those games for me as well, where I just explored the first couple of areas so much, and then I got quite further into the game, but all that's kind of a blur. Fable 2. I lost so many hours into this game. I've not played the original Fable. I definitely played Fable 2. I completed Fable 2. I played a bit of Fable 3. I want to say like a few hours of Fable 3. But yeah, this game was so good. It was my dad's mate would used to go around to his house, and he was the one with like the Xbox back then. I did eventually buy my own Xbox later down the line, which I don't have anymore, but there's no real reason to have an Xbox anymore. I remember going around to his and just sitting there for hours and hours playing Fable. Like, again, it was one of those games where the first opening area, it felt like I was in the Shire or something. I don't know. It just felt like I was in like the world of the Lord of the Rings, which is my favorite film of all time. So I'm going to be happy with that. And yeah, running around, just having a good laugh on it. So Fable 2, really enjoyable game. One of the better Xbox experiences I remember having. So Mass Effect, okay, I will expect. So I suspect that Mass Effect 2 is probably going to be a lot higher up. Not played the original Mass Effect. I have got. It was on PlayStation Plus, I think one of the months, but they did the Mass Effect trilogy remastered or whatever they've done. So I am going to get to it at some point. I just have not found the time, and I want to go back to Mass Effect 2 and 3 as well, because I really enjoyed those games, especially Mass Effect 2. I suspect Mass Effect 2 is definitely going to be in the top 20. Maybe even the top 10. Mass Effect 2 is incredible. And I've heard good things about Mass Effect, so I'd be happy to give that game a go as well. So, again, no opinion of it being at number 92. Grand Theft Auto 4, the most... I'm happy this is on the list, actually. Again, from here onwards, I'm not seeing. I got to Return of the Obra Dinn, and that's where I was like, okay, I'm going to do a video on this, basically. So, yeah, but Grand Theft Auto 4, maybe one of the most... I was going to say one of the most underrated Grand Theft Autos, but it's on the list, so I'm happy about that. I love this game. The physics in it, the ragdoll physics, some of the best physics I've seen in a game. I think the story is incredible. I think the city's decent. I don't love the colour palette to it. It's not quite... This is like one of those games that is in desperate need of a remake. Like, that would be so nice if they just did a remake for this. And I think they were planning to do one, but then they did the Grand Theft Auto trilogy remakes, and I mean, we all know how they were received, so I think they scrapped this idea. I remember reading that somewhere, but that's so unfortunate, because I love Grand Theft Auto 4, I would have loved a remake to this. I think I prefer Grand Theft Auto 4 to 5, honestly. So, it's not my favourite Grand Theft Auto. I'm assuming my favourite Grand Theft Auto will be on this list somewhere, but it's up there. I'd say top 3 for sure, maybe number 2. Nico, we got to go bowling, so I need the platinum trophy on that game, actually, but I think the online's just like dead. Super Mario Kart, yeah, there's our next Mario game. Obviously, I've played a couple of the Mario Karts, but not the original 1992. Looks outstanding. No, I do love Mario Kart, to be fair. If they didn't have Mario Party though, Mario Party will not be on this list. There is zero way Mario Party is on this list, but now that's a Mario game. I love that. Hitman World of Assassination. So this is the... Oh, okay, so this is just all 3. Oh, that's quite nice they've done that, actually. So it's all 3 of the new ones kind of put into one, because they did just make that a thing now, because it was Hitman 1, 2, and 3, and then they're like, we'll just form it into one, which I appreciate, because there's no difference, really, between graphics. It was all... Each game just had different level designs, which is great. Very happy this is on the list. I love Hitman. I've been a fan of Hitman since Silent Assassin, I want to say, because I definitely got into Silent Assassin before. Is it Absolution, the third one? I wasn't there as early as the first one. I have played the first one, but I remember with Silent Assassin and losing hours in that, so very happy to see Hitman on there. They've done a great job with this trilogy, and Hitman 3 in particular, amazing. So I know everyone says this, but that one level in the manor, right, one of the best levels ever. So yeah, glad that's on the list. 89. The Last Guardian, another blind spot for me. I really, really want to get to this game. I remember hearing mixed things when it came out, like how the controls were really clunky. And I don't know what that is. Why is that, like a big cat thing? Was really annoying to control, but I think it's kind of grown on people a bit more as the years have gone on. I wouldn't go as far as to say it's like one of those cult classic kind of, level of appreciation. So I will get to this at some point. In terms of PlayStation, this is definitely one of the blind spots for me, but I just remember it coming out, and this is one of those games I heard about way back when I was in secondary school. Oh, it's going to come out at some point, and it never did, and then it actually did, and it was just kind of like, okay, so surprised to see it on the list, but again, I can't really have an opinion because I've not played it. Super Mario Odyssey, I have played a few hours of this game. There's our third Mario game. Wow. Maybe there'll be more than 5 then, geez. It's good. I'm not much of a Mario guy. Like, I know, blasphemy, oh god. It's good fun. I can see why it's on the list. It's actually pretty further down than I thought I'd imagine it would have been. It's just not a game for me, I guess. Honestly, we were sold from the moment you could use a plumber's hat to mind control a T-Rex. You know what? Yeah, that's fair. We got a T-Rex with a Mario hat and a mustache on. That's understandable. Civilization 5. Is this the one? Are they on Civilization 6 now? Oh, no, yeah. So Civ 5 was 2010. This is definitely the one I've played. I've played a lot of hours in this one. Not a pro at it by any means. I'm actually kind of terrible at it. I remember playing this with a friend for just hours and hours and hours and doing there were nights where I'd probably come back from school at the time. Yeah, it was like my last couple of years at school, and I'd get back at 4 and would be on it till midnight, and we'd just do that day after day. For a good couple of months, we'd do that day after day. So yeah, really great game. Understandable that it's on the list, 86. Final Fantasy 14. One of the few... Actually, that's a lie. I was going to say one of the few Final Fantasies I've not played. That is an utter lie. I've played, I think, 4 Final Fantasies. I forget how many there actually is. I feel like I've played a lot of Final Fantasies because back in the day I'd spend a lot of hours playing Final Fantasy, but they weren't different ones. I think it was 12 I spent a lot of time with. This one, not played. Can't have an opinion on it, but I have actually downloaded the Pixel remasters that I'm going to be going through. Again, shout out to the second gaming channel because I'm doing a platinum video on Final Fantasy 1 over there, and I think I'll do all 6 of those Final Fantasy games. So I'm going to fill out the ones that I haven't played. I've played 7, I've played 7 Remake, I've played 12, I've played 15, I'm going to play 16 when that comes out. And I've played 9, but not all the way through. That's about... So this is one of those that I just haven't played. PS3. Shenmue. This kind of... Is it... Correct me if I'm wrong. Is this kind of like Yakuza? A little bit? Every time I see it, I just kind of think of Yakuza. But even though Yakuza was on the PS2 actually, so that makes sense. Shenmue 1999. Not gone around playing this one. I know they just did... Was it Shenmue 3 or something like that? And it wasn't that well received, so... Yeah, I'll get to it. I'll get to it at some point, I'm sure. BioShock Infinite. Okay, so this is where I won't say this is where it gets interesting because we're at 83. If BioShock, I assume the original BioShock is going to be in the top 10, surely. If the original BioShock is not even in the top 10, I'm going to cry because. But BioShock Infinite, I prefer to BioShock 2, definitely. So that makes sense. I assume, again, BioShock 2 is not even going to be on this list. Makes sense. Yeah, I love BioShock Infinite. I remember when it came out, it was a little bit mixed. I think it was more like people enjoyed it than didn't, but it's a bit more mixed than I kind of think it should have been. I love this game. I loved it from the get-go. The grapple flying around, so good. And I've recently just got to the DLC last year. I never played the DLC back in the day. And I got to the DLC for the first time. I think Clash in the Clouds and I forgot the name of the DLC, but got round to those. They were fantastic as well. So I love the BioShock series. The original BioShock is good. It would be in my top 10 of all time. So I'm curious where they're going to put the original BioShock. Dragon Age Origins. Love this game. I think... I know this is it's not like, I don't think this is a popular opinion, but I prefer this to Dragon Age 2. What was the third one called? Was it Ice Insulation? Insulin. Dragon Age Insulin, we'll go with that. It definitely was not that, obviously, but Dragon Age Origins, I absolutely loved. It might be more my memories and the experience I had with the game, which is, that's kind of, you could say that about any game ever, really. If you have a great experience with it, then it's going to be high up on your list. Technically, yes, Dragon Age 2 was better than this game, but I had so many fond memories of this game, of the story, the characters, and I hope that the new Dragon Age is incredible. I want it to be incredible. BioWare need a win, and I think it comes out before the next Mass Effect game, so I'll be very curious how that game kind of plays. But because they said, I think it came out as well, that they're going to try and have it be more like God of War, which is weird, because I really liked what they did with Dragon Age here. So yeah, happy to see this on the list, actually. 82 makes sense as well. While I do love the game, I think any higher than the top 50 would have been a bit mad. Fortnite. You know what? Understandable, and actually at a pretty decent spot. I think you could have, again, my memories of Fortnite from I think I got into it around 2018, not 17. Maybe I did get into 2017 though. Definitely wasn't when it first came out, but I think I got into it around chapter 2 or 3. Was that 2018? So from 2018 to 19, great memories of this game. There's no denying that. And then I got into it a bit more in 2020 for a bit. That was fun. And I touched it a little bit last year for like a week or something. I got back into it. It was fun. Yeah, that's absolutely fine. That completely makes sense. I know it's easy to shit on Fortnite, but what they've managed to do, incredible. So 81, completely fine with that. I think, again, if it was one of those games that was in the top 10, I'd be like, okay. Firewatch. Great game. Really fun game. I think a lot of people hated the ending to this, but I can't remember the ending too well. What was the ending? I don't want to say just in case of spoilers, but very short game. I think it's around 3 to 4 hours. And you're just kind of in the woods, going around to these watchtowers, like doing your radio stuff. And I think there was some twists and turns that kind of went on in the game, which was fun as well. But yeah, pretty fun indie game. I remember playing it when it first came out. Happy with that at 80. Tetris Effect. So good. So good. I'm surprised this isn't higher, actually. I would have put this maybe in the top 50, maybe. I don't know, 79 I guess is okay, but the music to this, so good. I need to play this in VR, actually. I've heard Tetris Effect in VR is a whole different experience, so I really want to get to that. But yeah, if you're a fan of Tetris, I mean, who isn't a fan? Tetris is just one of those games, it's like, anyone could pick up and enjoy Tetris, surely. So Tetris Effect, like, it's Tetris, but with really good music and satisfying visuals to surround it. Addicting. Yeah, Tetris Effect, absolutely bang of a game. Tony Hawk's, let's go. I didn't even think of like Tony Hawk's being on it. Pro Skater 2. Oh, this is my favourite one, but I will say shout out to Underground 2. I love Tony Hawk's Underground 2. That was probably the most time I've spent in a Tony Hawk's game. Yeah, Tony Hawk's is amazing. So much fun. So many hours lost into this as well back in the day. So The Secret of Monkey Island. So they just did a remake for this, which no one spoke about. It kind of came and went very quickly. I've never played it. I've heard very good things about The Secret of Monkey Island, so completely fine with that being there. Pokemon. This is absolutely a blind spot for me. I've played Pokemon, but I've never like played Pokemon like for hours and hours and hours, and I couldn't tell you the difference between any of these Pokemon games, to be honest. I watched Pokemon back in the day. I watched the show and I watched some of the films. I had some of the toys. I had a load of the cards, and I never played many of the games. So it's definitely a huge blind spot for me. I've watched someone play the games for a long time, but that's a bit different. So I can't judge. I'm assuming, is this like obviously it's one of the more loved ones, but would there be another Pokemon higher on this list? I don't know. I couldn't say. Like, there's definitely going to be more Mario games. I can tell you that for a fact. Pokemon though, I don't know. Metroid Prime again. They've done another remake to this, which I've heard is very good as well. So, but never played. I know I never played Metroid Prime. But yeah, no issues with it being there because I've only heard good things. Let's take a swig of my drink. Let's take a swig. Let's refuel. Oh god. Any Coke that just sits there for longer than 2 seconds, it doesn't hit. Undertale, banger, platinum this game 2 years ago. I didn't get to it when it first came out. That reminds me, I hope Doki Doki Literature Club is on this list. But yeah, I love Undertale. I remember when it came out, like every gaming YouTuber was doing videos on it, and luckily I managed to avoid really any gameplay or spoilers, even though could you really spoil this game, up to playing it, like say, a couple of years ago. And Yeah, I fully get it. I personally probably wouldn't have it in my top 75. Maybe I would, actually. I don't know. It is a very... I've not played a game like it since, and there's no other game like it. You've tried to have a lot of people try and copy what they did in Undertale, but it is a very unique game. Very short as well. Well, not very short. I think it's about 6 hours, but yeah. I've not done an official my top 100 games of all time, but I can imagine Undertale would actually probably be in there. Definitely wouldn't be top 50, though. Final Fantasy VI. Wow, okay, so this is one of the more loved Final Fantasies, so I'm surprised this is quite far down. I'm assuming Final Fantasy VII is going to be a lot higher up, and maybe 9. So this is our second Final Fantasy. Okay, so out of the original 6, Final Fantasy VI always seems to be the one that is like the best of those. And then when it comes to the discussion of what's the best Final Fantasy games, it's always a mix up between 6, 7, and 9, I want to say. So, like I say, 7 and 9 might be higher up, but yeah, I'm going to get to this. Like I say, I've got the Pixel remasters, so I'll get to this at some point. Yakuza... I've had a bit of a journey with Yakuza. I played and loved the original Yakuza on PS2 back in, I want to say 2005. Yakuza 2005. Oh no, I was a bit off because it was 2006 in the EU. Okay. Yeah, I loved this Yakuza way back in the day. I completed this game, and for the age I was, to complete a game like that, just based on how long it is, was pretty impressive. I'm going to pat myself on the back for that one. Then I played a bit of Yakuza 2 when that came out, and then I want to say I played a bit of Yakuza 4 randomly. I never completed Yakuza 2. Then I just stopped playing Yakuza for years because it just kept going and going, and then I just went on to other games and stuff. But I remember loving the original Yakuza, so there came a point where I was like, I need to get back into Yakuza because Judgment had just come out, which is the Yakuza spin-off. And I completed Judgment, absolutely loved it, and then told myself I bought all the Yakuza games. This is about, when did Judgment come out? Like 2018? So this is about just over 5 years ago I did this. Bought all the Yakuza games and I haven't touched them. They're all on my shelf and I really want to go through them. I've heard you start with Yakuza 0 and work your way through them. But I'm thinking of doing platinum videos for them. Well, I definitely am going to do one for Yakuza 0, and then I might do the rest as well. But I've heard amazing things. It's one of those I'm very much looking forward to jumping through this series. So I'm actually, again, surprised by how low this kind of is, actually. Based on what I've heard, I'd imagine this would have been maybe in the top 50, but there we are. Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, goated game, absolutely goated. Again, kind of low down with how much this changed the course of gaming back in 2007. I've played the campaign to every single Call of Duty since this one, and this still remains one of the best, and one of the best online memories / experiences I've ever had is with this game, Modern Warfare 2. Admittedly, yes, some of Fortnite back in 2018, some of my best memories. Not all top this and Modern Warfare 2. And World at War, actually. Modern Warfare 3, yes, to an extent, not quite as big. Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2. And honestly, for me, even though I know the game wasn't loved, but in terms of memories of the game, Ghosts, I had so much fun with Ghosts back in the day. I know, very odd to say that one, I'm sure. But again, Ghosts and all that, they're not on this level. Like, this is up there for sure, so... yeah, very happy this is on the list. A bit far down, though, I'd say. Left 4 Dead, amazing game. Very easy to pick up and play. I'm surprised we haven't got more Left 4 Dead, actually. 2009. God, jeez, I remember specifically a night at my mate's house just binge playing this and Assassin's Creed, the original, I want to say. Maybe it was Assassin's Creed 2, I'm not sure. But we just binge played those two like all night, all the way to like 3 in the morning or something. Good memories of Left 4 Dead. I never owned it personally, but I have played through the entire game. Legend of Zelda, never played a Zelda game in my life. Actually, that's wrong. I have played Breath of the Wild, but only for like 2 hours. So technically, I'm going to say I've never played a Zelda game in my life, which is blasphemy. I know, absolute blasphemy. Yeah, it's not because they haven't seemed like they've interested me. It's just, again, it's Nintendo. So sorry. That just like disputes any opinion I have now. Doesn't even matter because I've never played a Zelda game. I get it, don't get me wrong. Thief the Dark Project, is this like it sounds like I'm being silly, but is this... I've played Thief 2014. Is this in the same universe as that? I'd imagine it is. So yeah, I've played a Thief game, but it was not this one. So Legend of Zelda. Yeah, sorry. Zelda. Yeah, one day, guys. One day I'll get to them. GameCube. I did love the GameCube, to be fair. Fallout New Vegas, the best Fallout game. So I'd assume there's no other Fallout games above this. I think you could argue Fallout 3, but New Vegas takes the edge for me because of the story. I prefer the story to New Vegas to Fallout 3. Amazing game. I don't know what they were doing with 4. to be fair, I will say 4 is not that bad. 4 is a pretty good game, but when you do compare it to 3 New Vegas, yeah, it's not even close. So, yeah, very happy this is on the list. GoldenEye, played it. Don't have many memories of it, so felt like this was Call of Duty for like the generation just above me. So, but yeah, I've heard amazing things. So that again, actually, I would argue that's probably a bit further down than I thought it would have been. Persona 5, perfection. I'm surprised I didn't do Persona 5 Royale. That might be further on the list, to be fair, but we'll see. I love Persona 4. I've not played 1, 2, and 3. I have bought they just bought them over to the PS5, so I have bought, I think it's 2 and 3, I want to say they did. Could be wrong on that. I think it's 2 and 3. I've bought them, not played them yet, but I have played and completed Persona 4. I've played a lot of Persona 5. I've not completed Persona 5. I'd say I got stuck around the 80% mark, so I got very, very close to the end, I remember, when it first came out. And I've not played Persona 5 Royale, just because if I go back to it, I'm going to... Yeah, I know, it's just like, when I go for Platinums, it's like I might as well just get the Platinum on Persona 5 because I've got like 60% of it or something. So, but I kind of want to play Royale as well. I need to get back to Persona, but yeah, very happy this is on the list. The Sims 2. Okay. Definitely the best Sims, so I would back that, to be fair. I don't know how people felt about this, but I remember loving that you could just control the sim. Like, on PS2 this is. I didn't play it on PC, so it might be a different kind of Sims to this, but I love just being able to walk around with the sim with the analog. I know that defeats the whole purpose of like using the cursor, lining up all the things you wanted to do. I get it. And it was 2-player, I want to say. But yeah, I love The Sims 2. I don't know what they're doing with Sims recently. I just got the Platinum on Sims 4, and it was one of the most dead experiences I've had all this year. So I don't know what they're doing with The Sims right now, but Sims 2, amazing game for sure. Maxis. Castlevania, really want to get to Castlevania. I just never have. Sorry, one day. Symphony of the Night. One day, I promise. Grand Theft Auto 3. Yeah, this would be in my top. Okay, so my Grand Theft Auto list would probably be Grand Theft Auto 5, Grand Theft Auto 4, 3, San Andreas. No, San Andreas, then Vice City, based on memories of it. So, yeah, happy Grand Theft Auto 3 is on the list. Amazing game. Super Metroid. You know what I'm going to say. Oh, Fallout 3 above New Vegas. Damn. I think I kind of get why, because New Vegas, while I think it's better than Fallout 3, I think that's because of the story, whereas Fallout 3, when this came out, obviously the world and what they'd managed to do with Fallout was so new and incredible, and this was before Skyrim as well, so everyone was just blown away by Fallout 3, I seem to remember. Whereas New Vegas, it kind of did what Fallout 3 did well in terms of its world. It just made, at least for me, the story better. So I kind of get it. With Fallout 3 being above. I would have put New Vegas above it, but it's fine. Fallout 3 is an amazing game. Liam Neeson's in that game. Oblivion. Oh yeah, I guess to be fair, Oblivion kind of like prepared everyone for... Because I think Oblivion was... I really loved Oblivion, but Fallout's where I was like, oh okay, this is made. Then Skyrim's what really blew it out of the water for me. So in terms of a Bethesda game anyway. Yeah, I really enjoyed Oblivion. I assume Skyrim's going to be in the top 25, I'd argue. Yeah, really good memories of this game as well. I never completed this one, though. Never completed that one. Final Fantasy 9. Yep, assume this was going to be on there, because what did we have? Final Fantasy 6 and 14, I want to say. So, 9. I have memories of playing this game. I've not played it since, I want to say, like 2002 and 2003 is maybe when I got around to this game. Yeah, I have like vivid memories of, not vivid, like splash memories here and there of like certain moments in the game, but I could not tell you like the overall story of this game because it's been so long since I played it, but I am going to get to it again because I'm going to go through all the Final Fantasy games anyway. Inside, oh my god, yes. Yes, so happy this is on the list. I'd argue this is top 30 for me. personally, but very happy this is in there. Very short, in like 2.5 hours. One of those like side scroller 3D. I don't know what you'd call them, to be honest, but I love this game. I've played through it 3 times, I want to say, maybe like 2.5, but we'll say 3. Yeah, such an amazing game. I can't recommend this enough. Like I say, very short experience, so go check it out. One of the most bizarre, horrifying, and unexpected endings in all of yeah, that ending is something for sure. I've played Limbo as well. Limbo is pretty good, but it is not as good as Inside. Have they released another game since, actually? Play Dead. Wow, they've not released a game since Inside. That's 2016. I will say, what are you doing? You were founded in 2006 and you've released 2 games. Okay. 2006. Have they got anything in development? I assume they do. Play Dead's 3rd game, which has been teased as early as January 2017. Okay, so it doesn't, yeah, probably it's out there. It's somewhere being made. We'll see. Hollow Knight, I do have this game. I've heard it's very difficult, heard it's very good. Have not got to it yet, so no opinion. I've seen a lot of clips of it though. Ico, I have played this briefly. I don't have many memories of it, but I have played it back on the PS2. So again, one of those I need to get back to. I do love Shadow of the Colossus. I assume Shadow of the Colossus is going to be top 20, I'd argue. Which it better be, because Shadow of the Colossus is amazing. It's weird, I played Ico on the PS2, but I never played Shadow of the Colossus on PS2. That is strange now I think about it. Played Shadow of the Colossus remake though. Alright, Dishonored 2. I could never get into these games. Maybe I could now, but like even with Deathloop, for example, I've just never been a fan of, I guess, Arcane's games. I don't know what it is. I think they're good. I just don't think they're for me, maybe, is what it is, just, which is fine, I guess. But yeah, Dishonored 2, I have no issue with it being here. I played, I want to say, maybe about 3-ish hours of this game, and I just could not really get into it, so, which is unfortunate. Maybe I'll go back to it one day, but Half-Life, yeah, Half-Life 2, I assume is going to be top 10, probably. Never played them, sorry. I've played Gary's mod. I know that's not Half-Life, but I've played Gary's mod, but not Half-Life. Final Fantasy 10. Okay, I didn't know 10 was so loved. Okay, not played 10. I didn't. Oh no, this is okay. No. I do know of Final Fantasy 10 because I've seen the meme of him laughing. I've seen a few clips actually. I didn't realize it was the one with that protagonist in there. Yeah, okay. I've heard a lot about this game. I didn't know it was this loved. So yeah, sure. And number 51. All right, number 50. What we got? Spelunky. Again, I played Spelunky 2. I want to say the one that's newer. Couldn't really get into it. So. Oh, I do love the Binding of Isaac, though, so maybe I need to give Spelunky another go. Binding of Isaac I loved. Stardew Valley, never played. Heard it's one of those kind of addicting games where you just run around doing your crops, and I'm sure there's more stuff to it than that. But I've heard very good things about the game, just haven't got to it. Grand Theft Auto 5, okay. I'd put 4 and 3 above this personally, but I get it, like how big this game was, how big this game still is. Almost 10 years, 10 years this September, I want to say, when this game came out. I remember specifically going in to buy this. I remember it came out a couple of weeks before my birthday. And I remember saying to my mum, like, this can be my birthday present. Like, you don't have to get me anything for my birthday, but I need to get this now because it's all I'm going to hear about for the next 2 weeks and everyone's getting it. All my mates had already got it. I was like, we're going out to get it. And we managed to find a copy somehow in... No, it was Tesco. I was going to say, was it Sainsbury's or something, but it was definitely Tesco. Yeah, amazing game. But the online... Bro, the online sucks. I'm sorry. I've tried. The online banged back in the day when it first came out. I tried to play the online last year, 2022, and it sucked. Oh my God. I tried to play with my dad, and it's just... We cannot get into games at all. It is... trying to get into games on Rockstar Games is just the worst, so... But yeah, anyway, God of War, wow, pretty far down. I would have thought this would be top 25. I guess Ragnarok could be on this list, technically, so I'd put them both equal. Maybe Ragnarok the edge a tiny bit. But God of War at 47, wow. Not mad about it. I mean, sure. I'm surprised as all, just because of how beloved this game kind of is. Like, some people argue this is the best PlayStation exclusive game of all time. So, yeah, I love God of War. I have no issue. Obviously, I'm very happy it's on the list. It made it to the top 50, but 47, I guess I'm just a bit surprised. Oh, Destiny above God of War. Okay. I've played a lot of Destiny. I've not played Destiny 2. I've heard Destiny 2 is, like, incredible at the moment, but I played a ton of Destiny when that came out. I actually still have videos up somewhere of us playing this game when it first came out. The wizards came from the moon. It's, what was the other one? They're coming through the walls. Just like the worst line delivery from Peter Dinklage. But yeah, great game. Don't get me wrong. I would not personally put it above God of War, but sure. Halo 3, guys. Fable, played. Gears of War 2, I've played. Never played Halo. I've seen so many clips and videos on Halo. I feel like I've played it. I have not played it though. I can't lie. I can't sit here and lie. I've never played a Halo game in my life. So, again, I feel like I have because I've watched so many videos and content on this series, but and how much they've fumbled the bag with it recently. But I just haven't gone around to it because around this time, 2007, I had a PS. Would this be PS3? Yeah, PS3 would have come out. That's what I was on. I mean, it's around the era when most people jumped from PlayStation to Xbox because of how much Sony were fumbling the PlayStation, but I never made that jump, so yeah, can't say I have an opinion. Morrowind. Oh, Elder Scrolls 3. I thought there was a DLC called Morrowind for something. I thought they just added in the DLC. I never played Elder Scrolls 3. I've played Oblivion and Skyrim. Never played 1, 2, or 3. So, above Oblivion, I mean, I guess, yeah, sure. I never heard many people talk about this, so I'm surprised that's on there. Fair enough. Nier, I really want to play this game. My sister's played it. She completed it. She said it's amazing, so I've heard incredible things about this game. Like, I always hear it's like the one game you'll always hear of but never play, and it kind of is that for me at the moment. Like, I always hear of Nier Automata. Automata? Is that how you say it? But I've never got into it. I really, really want to. I've heard the story is, like, outstanding, so no spoilers, but I will definitely get to this game. And I've said that about a lot of games, but this one's high up on that list of the wish list, even though I own it. Chrono Trigger, heard amazing things, never got to it. Sorry. Oh, OG Sims above Sims 2. I get that. OG Sims, to be fair, I had so many fond memories of as well. Like, I remember my mum and dad used to play it, and we had, like, so our stairs leading up to, like, whatever's upstairs usually, it was here. The living room, the TV, you could see the TV from the stairs. I'd used to be sent to bed, they'd play it at night, and I'd, like, sneak on the stairs and sit there and watch. They definitely knew I was there, but I remember just sneaking on the stairs and just watching them play The Sims for, like, it felt like hours. It was probably like 3 minutes before they caught me and sent me back to bed. But yeah, I have very fond memories of this one. I remember I'm talking about PS2 here, not PC for me. But I remember that one level where you lived with your mum. I think it was like level 1. And then you lived with your trampy friend who just left dirt everywhere and stuff like that. Yeah, I really enjoyed The Sims 1. 1 and 2, absolutely banged. Yep, there's all, what's that, 4th Mario game. Yep. Understandable. What Remains of Edith Finch. Yes. So good. So good. I played through this 3 times as well, kind of like inside. I got the platinum twice, I want to say. I got the platinum twice on this one. Love this game. Love this game so much. Again, very short, but it felt like every chapter was so different to the last. I don't Not quite as, creative as It Takes Two in terms of what they're doing with gameplay, but each chapter just felt like a really great tale, because each chapter is kind of like a different character's story. So yeah, I love this game. Really highly recommend this one. Hades at number 38. I do really enjoy this game. I don't love it, I think, as much as a lot of people did. Like, a lot of people, when this came out, is like their game of the year. I do get why. I really enjoy it. I'd probably give it like an 8 out of 10, which I know it came out and it was 10s and 9s. I'll play Hades 2 the day that comes out, don't get me wrong. But yeah, I think this is not even a very good game. I think it's a great game. I just don't think I love it as much as some people. But 38, absolutely fine with that. Silent Hill 2. This is one of those games I've definitely played, and I'm pretty sure I've completed this, but it was so long ago that I can't even remember it. I've played... Memories I do have of Silent Hill, which unfortunately is of Silent Hill Downpour, because that's one of the last Silent Hill game that came out. We did videos on that back in 2013, I want to say, whenever that was. So yeah, that's Silent Hill Downpour I have memories of. Silent Hill 2 I've 100% played, I just don't remember it. I remember being very spooked by it as a kid. Very, very spooked by it. Love the game. And I shout out to the films, but I really enjoy those films. I think they're kind of bad, especially the second one, but I think especially the first one's actually pretty great. So very excited for the remake, and then we've got 4 Silent Hill games coming out now, so we'll see how they kind of are. Oh, 6th, This won't even be the last as well, because I know the number one Mario game's going to be, and this ain't it. So what's this, number 6 Mario game? Jeez. Portal. They better have Portal 2 then. I want Portal 3. They won't do that. But Uncharted 2 or first, maybe only Uncharted. If Uncharted 2's here, do you think they'll have Uncharted 4? They're definitely not going to have Uncharted 1. I'm going to assume they're not going to have Uncharted 3 on this list, even though I'd argue Uncharted 3 and 2 kind of do rival. But do you think they'll have Uncharted 4? I'd be surprised, because if Uncharted 4 isn't on this list, then there's a lot of games that we've gone through that I would put Uncharted 4 above, but we'll see. Uncharted 2, I'd argue top 20 games, but 34 is pretty high up, so I'm fine with that. Metal Gear Solid 3. Haven't played this one. I have played Metal Gear Solid 2. I have very great memories of that game. I've played Metal Gear Solid 4 to a point. I've played Metal Gear Solid 5 to a point. Never played 1 or 3 though, so I'm going to predict, I'm pretty sure they're going to do remakes of these games anyway, so I'll get to it when they do remakes to it, because I've heard, going back to these Metal Gear games, they're very clunky to play now, is what I've heard. So, yeah, it's not high up on the to-play list. Deus Ex, I never know how to say this one, the simulator game. But again, blind spot for me. I played a couple. I played the one on PS3. Was there one on PS3? I'm not sure. I haven't played this one though, so sorry. Shadow of the Colossus, there it is. Okay, cool. Bit low down, I would have thought top 25 for Shadow of the Colossus. Okay. Number 31. Amazing game. I can't believe it took me so long to get to this, but I'm so happy I have it under my belt of games I've played. I need to go back and platinum it, because I did all the bosses and completed it, but never went back for the platinum, because I think I have to go through the game like 6 times for the platinum. Like, I have to do it in a certain amount of time, with a certain weapon and all that stuff. So I'll get to it when it comes to the platinum. But in terms of a game, incredible. Really love it. The music as well, so good. Such a good game. Outer Wilds. Okay, I started this game. I played about an hour and a half. And I don't know if I was in like a weird mood, but I was not really feeling it. And I just haven't got back to it since. But everything I've heard about Outer Wilds is nothing. But some people consider it like their favourite game of all time. So I really, really need to get to this one. Trust me. Promise. I promise. Journey. Love this game. Made me tear up at the end. One of the few games. I'd say there's about 10 games that have made me tear up. Journey is one of those games for sure. Such a beautiful little story and so well done and animated and stuff. So I'm very happy this is on the list. 2012, God, I didn't get to it till around 2015, I want to say, is when I probably played this. There it is, The Last of Us Part 2, one of the most controversial games of all time. Number 28, so I assume The Last of Us is going to be, that's got to be top 10, surely. Yeah, that's understandable. I love this game. I can understand the controversy around it. Like, some parts of the controversy around it. I think there's a lot of the controversy around it that's just utter bollocks. Oh, why is Abby so buff when it's the apocalypse? Oh, pipe down. Abby's a goated character, for sure. I'm sorry. Abby is just such a good character. I love Abby's character. I love Lev. I love all the new characters they had. Maybe not all, but most of the new characters they had. The gameplay's great. So yeah, I love The Last of Us Part 2. I'm curious what they're going to do with the show about it, though. I don't want to say any spoilers, but I'm curious what they're going to do with Season 2 of The Last of Us when it comes to tackling this beast of a game. So yeah, 28. For me personally, it'd be not top 10, but maybe like top 15, top 20, I'd say. Street Fighter 2, really? Okay, sure, yeah. I'm not really into like fighting games, but I am going to get the new Street Fighter. I'm curious. The game I've probably put the most into when it comes to fighting is probably Naruto Shippuden. Those games bang. Or Naruto Unleashed it would have been, actually, on PS3. The Legend of Zelda, yeah, sure. Can't say anything about it. Okay, so another Pokemon game. I was curious if they would have another one. I'm assuming Red and Blue is like the most loved then. I can't imagine we'll have another Pokemon above this. Watch Pokemon Go be number 1. Minecraft, yeah, I didn't even think of that. Wow. Makes sense, yeah. Never loved Minecraft. To be fair, when I play it, I have fun, but it's not one of those I'm like always gagging to kind of jump back into. I do need the platinum on this game, though. I think I have 20% or something. I need to go back. Yes, by 23? Alright, that's the first one that's kind of annoying. 23, bro. For the record, Bioshock for me is my 3rd favourite game of all time. For sure. So to have it at 23 kind of stings a bit. At least it made it to the top 25, but I was kind of rooting for it to be in the top 10 at least. 23. That's a bit of an L. That kind of stinks a bit. This is such a good game. I don't even know what I could say about it that hasn't been said a billion times before, but just so good. I even loved this back in like 2007 when it's released. I've probably completed this not more than I know the game that I've completed the most. We haven't had a Resident Evil yet. Are we gonna get a Resident Evil? The game I completed the most, by the way, you won't guess it, but it's Resident Evil 5. That is the game I've gone through from start to finish the most. I've gone through from start to finish over 10 times. Resident Evil 5. Don't know why. I think it's because I know it's because it's co-op, and back in the day when that came out, I just played that with all my mates like over and over and over again. It's so fun. But yeah, Bioshock is up there as one of the games I've gone through the most. World of Warcraft, I get it. Yeah, makes sense. Never been for me, but fully understand why it's up there. Halo Combat Evolved, Halo 1, yep. Fully get it. Again, I've seen plenty of videos of this game, but never got to it, so it makes sense. Elden Ring made it into the top 20 of first From Software game. Yeah, I'm going to predict Bloodborne is above this then, because you haven't had Bloodborne yet. Elden Ring at 20. I'd give Elden Ring a 9 out of 10, so yeah, that's completely fine with that. Got the platinum on that. Very good game. Doom 1. Sure. Yeah, sure. For what it did, why not? For first-person shooters. We'll go with that. There it is. There it is. Wow, I thought this would be in the top 5. This would have been one of my predictions for what would actually be number 1, I think. Super Mario 64 at 18. Jeez. Okay. I'm not mad about it because I've never played these games, but this was the one I was assuming was going to be at least in the top 5. That's pretty low down, I think. But I don't think, but I'm surprised. Final Fantasy 7, yeah, okay, I'm happy we got this one out of the way. You didn't put it at 7. Final Fantasy 7 at 7, come on, it makes so much sense. I mean, to be fair, this isn't like someone's gone through it. This is like based on experts, so I assume it's just all their info kind of ranked in that way. So I don't have many memories. I've definitely played Final Fantasy 7, but obviously Remake have a lot of memories. That was clear as day, that didn't come out that long ago. But when it comes to the original, I have definitely played it, and I think played it till the end. I just can't remember much about it. Like I said, I had a period where I went through a few of the Final Fantasy games, but this is when I was like 10 or 12. So, but amazing game, obviously. Give us Remake Part 2. Skyrim, yes. I would, yeah, to be fair, that is probably exactly where I would put it. If I was to ever do a top 100 games of all time, this is around where I would actually put Skyrim. Not top 10 material for me, but very, very close. Some amazing memories with this game. When this came out, I think the Christmas of 2011, I remember being at my dad's for a week and played this. When I say non-stop, I mean non-stop for that entire week. Like, I woke up, played this till I slept, maybe ate a bit in there and went to the toilet. That was it. And it was like that for the week this came out. So, yeah, I love Skyrim. We'll see how Starfield is. And to be fair, I can't even play the next Elder Scrolls, which really sucks because it's going to be for Xbox only, I'm going to assume, but we'll see. Red Dead 2 at 15. Okay. Take a swig of my drink. Red Dead 2 at 15. You didn't even put it in the top 10. And I was saying about my top 3 games of all time, Red Dead 2 is at number 2 on that list. Wow. This isn't even one of those where I can go, oh, yeah, okay, but I kind of get it. No. No. Also, you're saying Skyrim's better than Bioshock? No. You're saying Final Fantasy 7 is better? No. This ain't better than Bioshock? No. That ain't better than Bioshock? No. Elden Ring better than Bioshock? Absolutely not. Red Dead better than Bioshock? Yes, but now okay. Let's see what game is better than Red Dead 2 and Bioshock. Right? Okay. Another Mario game. What's that? Number 8. Super Mario World is better than Red Dead 2 and Bioshock. Okay, yeah. Yep. Okay, what else is better than Bioshock and Red Dead 2? Another Zelda game. Yeah, okay. Ocarina of Time, fine. Can't be mad. This is just... Disco Elysium? Disco Elysium, amazing game for sure. Top 25 games of all time, maybe. Definitely top 30, yes. Top 25, maybe. Top 12, above Red Dead 2 and Bioshock. No, 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 no. I love this game. I think it's amazing. I think it's so good. I would go 9 out of 10 for Disco Elysium. This is not better than Red Dead and Bioshock. Ah, God. We're getting a bit silly now. Resident Evil 4, okay, I'm fine with that, yeah. Our first Resident Evil game. If this is number 4, this is the only Resident Evil game we're having. So the only Resident Evil game in the top 100 is Resident Evil 4. So not 2 or 2 remake, sure. I would argue I would argue Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 2 remake are better than a lot of the games, at least in the top, at least from 100 to 80. Like, you could have had it in there somewhere. But it's fine. Resident Evil 4, yeah, didn't quite make it into the top 10, but I don't know if I am fine with that, actually. I don't know if I am fine with that. And again, this game is just not better than Bioshock or Red Dead 2, but it is a 10 out of 10. It is a 10 out of 10 masterpiece. So I'm not upset about it. No Resident Evil 5? I'm one of those few people. I love Resident Evil 5 so much. Don't get me wrong, it's not top 100 games of all time material, but top 100 games of all time and top 100 gaming experiences you've had of all time. Resident Evil 5 is going in the top 100 experiences in a game that I've ever had. And memories, fond memories of that game. But Resident Evil 4, yep. Alright, Half-Life 2. Yep. Sure. Dark Souls above Red Dead 2, Bioshock, and Resident Evil 4. And Elden Ring. Okay, yep. Top 25 material, I'd have been fine with that, but I have actually played Dark Souls as well. I haven't completed it, but I can't have an opinion on that. No. Paul 2, come on. Paul 2 at 8, bro. I love Paul 2 to pieces. I love Paul 2 so much. It is a 10 out of 10 game. Above Resident Evil 4, Red Dead 2 and Bioshock. And Uncharted 2. No. Absolutely not. I would give Paul 2 a 10 out of 10. And again, when I'm talking about gaming experiences, Paul 2 co-op mode, so good. Shout out to Succession, by the way. I keep looking at this ad because I just noticed it's Skarsgård, but shout out to Succession. Now, if you want to talk about top 100 shows of all time, Succession's in that top 5. Metal Gear Solid. So I'm going to assume you have Metal Gear Solid 2 in the top 5. Because there's no Metal Gear Solid 1 isn't even the best Metal Gear game. Never mind 7 on the list. I'm going to assume Metal Gear 2's above it then. Mass Effect 2. Again, sure, but you're telling me it's better than Red Dead, Bioshock, Uncharted. No. And Resident Evil 4. No. I'd say this is definitely top 10 though. Definitely top 10. For me personally, probably top 15, top 20. But I don't have an issue with this one being in the top. Out of the top 10 so far, this is the only... Half-Life 2 I can understand despite never having played it. The only other one I can kind of get is Mass Effect 2 so far. I think all these, so Paul 2, Metal Gear 1, Dark Souls, are incredible. Those 3 not top 10, no. The Witcher 3, come on. The Witcher 3. I do really enjoy The Witcher 3. Top 5 games of all time though. Yeah, no. No. Definitely not. 100% no. Maybe top 15, top 20, top 10, no, top 5. Okay. Ooh. Bloodborne. Yeah. Number 4. So predictions for number 3. The Last of Us is still to come. Breath of the Wild. And... it won't be another Mario game. The Last of Us is definitely going to be in the top 3. Breath of the Wild's 100% going to be in the top 3. Probably number 1. And then I don't know what the other one could be. Bloodborne. I love Bloodborne. I gave it a 9 out of 10. I've done a platinum video on it if you do want to check that out. I would personally have it in my top 25 games. But these games I understand just aren't my bread and butter. I don't adore these games as much as a lot of people do, but I'm actually fine with that one being in the top 10, to be honest. Again, going to the top 10, I'd say this and Mass Effect 2 are the two I get. Like, I get it. Alright, here we go. Number 3 is, I'm going to say, not Last of Us, not Breath of the Wild, but whatever else they're going to do. Tetris. I said Tetris earlier. That I knew there was like something. I was like, you're missing something. I said it earlier in the video. Tetris, boom. Okay, yeah, Tetris is just... it's completely fine with that being in the top 10. 100% fine with that. Here we go, number 2. Do not be The Last of Us. I'm sorry. Breath of the Wild. Fuck. Breath of the Wild's at number 1. Breath of the Wild is at number 1. Alright. I have to say, the Breath of the Wild... yeah, I don't get it, personally. I don't... yeah, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. I don't understand it. It's fine. It's a great game. Number 1 game of all time. No. The Last of Us. Yeah, the Last of Us is number 2. I'm fine with. Breath of the Wild, I'd actually understand being in the top 10, maybe even top 5, but number 1. And I get it's not, I can't really have an opinion on it too much, because I haven't put a lot of hours into it. I've put a few hours into it, but not a lot. But I just knew it wasn't for me. So that's just kind of what it is. There's certain games that just aren't for some people, and I guess this one just isn't for me. But I've heard, what's the new one? Whispers in the Wind or something like that. Tears of the Kingdom is meant to be outstanding as well. So I assume Tears of the Kingdom would bump this game off the number 1 spot now, if they were to do this today instead of 3 days ago. So, yeah, it's Nintendo's magnificent Switch launch game changed how many saw open world experiences. That is true. Vast in size, deeply systemic, with a completely free-form approach to exploration. I do love that they did that, and a kind of thing that inspired how Elden Ring did it a little bit. I do love how Breath of the Wild approached exploration in a game. Like, you walk out, here's the world, go do what you want. And we've not filled the map with all these annoying Ubisoft markers. Also, no Assassin's Creed games in this top 100, which I would have put Assassin's Creed 2 on the list for sure, personally. But the annoying Ubisoft map system that they do. So I do really appreciate what this game did for that. Combat seems very generic. I don't really get the hype with the combat and the puzzles. Yeah, sure. Few games match its scope for experimental play. True. And few give the players so much sense of authority of their own discoveries. Very true. And then Tears of the Kingdom has one head of a legacy to live up to, which, from what I've heard, it definitely does. So, and then here's everyone who voted on it. So, we have Gene Park. Good. We have Alana Pierce. Good. We have Tim Schafer. Good. We have Skill Up. Good. I wish you could see all these people's like individual lists. Would be quite cool. Yeah, good list. I won't say it's the worst list I've ever seen, for sure. It could be a lot worse. This top 10 is like Breath of the Wild, 100% should be in the top 10. Last of Us should 100% be in the top 10. Tetris should 100% be. So the top 3 they've nailed, to be fair. Bloodborne, top 10, yes. Witcher, I would not. Mass Effect 2, yes. Metal Gear, no. Portal 2, no. Dark Souls, no. Half-Life 2, despite having never played it, I could back that being in the top 10. Resident Evil 4 should have been in the top 10, I'd say. And then I would have put, personally, Bioshock, Red Dead. And my personal bias would say Uncharted 2, but I can understand why Uncharted 2 is kind of further up on the list. Yeah, it's not like this. This is the worst. This is the most egregious ranking out of all of it. Red Dead 2 at 15. And then Bioshock being even further up than that is probably... what rank was that? That was 23. That's insane. That's insane. Yeah, there we go, guys. Anyway, I just rambled on for an hour and 15 minutes. So hope you enjoyed. I was just sat here looking through the list anyway, so I thought, why not do? And now I'm going to read off some games that weren't even on the list. Dead Space, any of the Assassin's Creed games, Far Cry 3, any of the Batman games, Knack. Come on, Knack. Doki Doki Literature Club, Literature Club, Detroit Become Human or Heavy Rain, Cuphead, Uncharted 4, It Takes Two, Death Stranding, either Crash, Spyro or Jack, Doom 2016/Eternal, Ni no Kuni Wrath of the White Witch, Control, Sayonara Wild Hearts, Catherine, Sekiro, Telltale's The Walking Dead, The Binding of Isaac, zero sports games but mainly no Gran Turismo games. I'd argue maybe Outlast, maybe some of the Infamous, throw Little Nightmares 2 in there as well, why not? Oh, they haven't done one for the top 100 TV shows. But I guess I don't have to use GQ. We could do like top 100 TV shows or 250 TV shows. That would take ages. Could do Rolling Stones. Total IGN's top 100 TV shows. I want to do The Guardian. I want to do Games Radar. Empire, I could back that. Hey, GQ should get on the top 100 TV shows. Why not? Alright guys, thanks for watching. Until next time. Peace.